I'm so sorry. I've just called the meeting to order, and I'd like everybody who'd like to speak to please take a seat so we can just keep passing it down, and we don't have to wait for everyone to get up single file. If that's all right. And whoever's ready to start your comments on pro or con, please go ahead.
Hi there, my name is Tom Chapman. I'm the director of the Iowa Catholic Conference. We're registered in support of the bill. We think it's simply a more accurate description of the people involved. So thank you.
Keenan Crow, when Iowa, we registered against the bill, trying to figure out why this is necessary. As long as we, think females are people, I think this is already covered in the current language that we don't actually have to advance this or use state resources to recalibrate the law if that is already the case. Would also just mention that most of the professional organizations in this space have moved towards this more inclusive language in the recognition that there are also folks who identify as non-binary who can get pregnant, various other groups who might not necessarily appreciate that terminology change. So we remain opposed. Thank you.
Connie Ryan from Interfaith Alliance of Iowa Action Fund, and just would echo a lot of what Keenan said. We are opposed to the legislation. As a female, I do consider myself a person, just to put some humor on it. But we also believe that the term as written, as current law, is more inclusive of all people who may get pregnant. So, including girls, that's part of the conversation too. So we would just recommend that the language stay the same as is in code.
Kirsten Delegardelle, Planned Parenthood Advocates of Iowa. We are against this bill, and I guess my biggest question around this is how long has this been in Iowa code? Is this only an issue now? Was it not an issue 5 years ago, 10 years ago? I'm not sure how old this code was. We tried to look it up and couldn't quite figure out when this became Iowa code, but we're just not sure why a change like this would be necessary at this time. I want to echo a lot of my sentiments to my colleagues at One Iowa and Interfaith Alliance.
Max Pringle, live down Warren County, just concerned citizen. I've got 5 kids. So this one is interesting to me because, it just recognizes the biological fact that only females can get pregnant. I would recommend, though, an amendment to this. It only goes halfway, so we recognize the science that only females can get pregnant. But then there's still terminology in there that says that abortions can happen up until the end of the 2nd trimester. I would recommend an amendment to strike the end of the 2nd trimester in paragraphs 1 and 2 and replace that with conception so that it would read that life begins at conception. I also recommend an amendment in paragraph 3 to strike the statement with the knowledge and voluntary consent of the pregnant female who is not a person licensed to practice medicine, surgery, and whatever that word is, medicine and surgery under Chapter 148. Thanks.
Anybody else? Going once, twice? Okay. I'll go ahead and let my colleagues, Representative Brown Powers, would you like to start with your comments?
I just don't know why we're doing this bill and why we're spending crucial time. I think if we look at the news and we look in what's going on, I'm as excited about my morning bill, and this one I'm not excited about. I think it's kind of a waste of time. And I'd like to know really why this is being brought forward. I'm gonna pass on this one today. Thank you.
Representative Meyer?
I'm going to sign on to this. I do believe that it's important to note that females give birth, and it's not, girls aren't included because women are grown. The females are a grown woman and underage, not underage, but you become a woman when you are able to biologically give birth. Thank you. I'm a yes.
Thank you. I am also going to be a yes. I think this is just bringing our code in line with other code edits that we have, and I think that looking at different sections over the last few years, we've been really trying to, in some places it says female, in some places it says person, and just when it comes to medical terminology, I think that having our code sections consistent, so I am going to advance this. And I would like to talk to you after, maybe, because I think you might be reading a piece of this in a different way than I am. I believe it's just noting that it's the section which talks about if someone were to intentionally try to harm a person's pregnancy in their, a woman's pregnancy in their, without their consent, or without their knowledge, or with their knowledge, what the act would be, and that part's already in code. So I think this is just cleaning up the person to female language of that section. But if you have concerns, I'd be happy to talk to you after. So I'm going to be a yes on this. Thank you guys for coming, and thanks for waiting for everybody. So adjourned. And I forgot the paper, even though I sat here for 5 minutes and didn't even think about that until I remembered to bring my copy of the bill. But